Welcome back to the Pro Football Pod. We're bringing you the preview for the running backs and the tight ends. Week 14.
Running backs. Week 14.
Oh no, Christian Kirk ruled out. No
As
bueno.
you can tell, we're recording this on Monday.
Yes, sir. So, getting it started off real spicy. Is Jonathan Taylor going to miss again?
I mean,
I
wrist surgery,
believe so.
or hand surgery, thumb surgery. That's gonna
He
be a
had
couple
surgery?
weeks on the guy.
He's having surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but he'll
believe
be
he's
back
gonna be
for
out.
playoffs. It's
Fire
like
their
a,
playoffs.
it was like a Jackson Smith-Njigba type situation.
Is he going to be back for their playoffs? Or, will he be back by week 16 and
Their
17?
playoffs. No, I think
man.
we're done with him for fantasy. I think your best bet was to get Zach Moss,
Okay.
and if you didn't, sigh about it.
Well, if you do have Zach Moss, I guess maybe we should be playing him. Who are they playing this week, Justin?
Cincinnati.
Ooh.
Which, as we're, like I just said,
Hooday.
we're recording this on Monday, and they're giving a tough go at it right now to Travis Etienne. But I like Zach Moss. I like him as a guy you can kind of fire up this week. And for the most part, he's really the only running back on their team that's going to get touches out of the backfield. So he's just a carry monster.
And historically, this season, whenever he's the only running back getting touches, he's a top 15 at least fantasy running back.
Is he getting a lot of receiving work too?
Not a ton, but
I see him
all of
just
it.
in the rushing. Yeah.
All of
Like
it.
I was looking at
there's
I was looking at
nobody else.
props, like
He's
betting
literally
props
getting
for him for
90%
receiving,
of
and
the
it was
touches
like
out
a
of that
19.
Yeah.
So I want if he can hit over 25 yards a game, that's someone I want to hammer at the receiving game.
Yeah. I agree. 1000%. You got to fire him up with how much he's getting, how much work he's getting. And it's not like the Bengals are elite versus the run either. You expect the game to stay generally close. So I don't think it's going to get out of the realm where they're not able to run the ball at all. So I absolutely fire up Zach Moss with no worries.
While we're talking about the Bengals, I've never seen Bill Belichick smile, but Zach Taylor legitimately looks angry. Like he's grimacing. Like he's putting energy into looking upset all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen him smile either, but it's beyond just being meh.
Really?
Bro,
You
take a second.
The year in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he does always
You
have
didn't see him smiling a little bit?
Okay.
Like he's just thinking fuck you, motherfucker.
That's just kind of how his face sits.
I mean, resting angry bitch face all the time. It's crazy.
It's not Nick Sirianni's face, so he's still fine. Now, this guy, you're going to fire him up every week, but I'm just going to highlight it because of the matchup. Interdivision matchup, and he's got Carolina. Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, fire him up for an anytime touchdown this week.
Now, Panthers
fire
rush
him
defense
up for a first touchdown score this week.
Ooh, okay.
Well. Little spicy sprinkle there for you.
Derek Carr, do we know anything about the injury there? It looked like it was chest because he got slammed on Sunday. But
I don't know, but I
Oh
don't
my
know
God,
if
you
y'all
just
were
sounded like
watching the
Negan.
game or paying attention to it very much. But there was a point in the game to where every time Derek Carr came on the field, the fans were actively booing. And every time Taysom Hill came in for him, they were actively cheering.
Oh, no. Did you guys, even worse than that, was that Taysom Hill came in, and then they took him out for Jameis Winston on, the 1 yard line. It made zero sense from, a play. Okay, I get whenever Derek Carr is there. I think, that was whenever Kamara ended up getting his first or second touchdown. But
why not have Taysom hand to him to throw the defense?
And that's what my thought. Whenever the announcers were saying this is stupid, why blah, 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 my only thing was maybe Taysom legitimately isn't that good at handing off the ball. Maybe in practice, he's a legitimate.
Stop.
That's maybe his weakness.
Stop.
I mean,
I
that's
played
the only
quarterback.
thing
It's
I could
pretty
think
easy.
of. It's the only
But
thing. What makes sense? He's
thinking,
great at throwing
right,
it. Not great, but good enough.
I'll give it to you. You put Jameis in the game. What do you think they're doing? Throwing the ball. So what does the defense do? Take one step back. What does that give Kamara a lane to run through?
That's a good call.
He ran in the end zone. everything's strategic in the NFL, but like that is a weird play to do. You know, you got your goal line quarterback and you don't put him in the game. That is also something scary for me whenever you're saying Kamara first time bet is Taysom Hill scares me for betting on Kamara.
Oh, he's a vulture.
Because you know he's gonna get it as well.
He's a vulture, but
This
I still
last
like
week-
Kamara for a bet.
They showed that they like Kamara in the red zone. They gave him three
no,
opportunities
but-
at least.
But they tried Taysom Hill first, and he
they
got his
like
first.
Kamara. Like they like Kamara in the red
No, I
zone.
get that, but
I
Taysom
get
Hill
that.
got his first, and
Yeah.
they forced it.
Now, streamer, we mentioned him earlier in the week. If you go back and listen to our waiver wire episode, Ezekiel Elliott. If you're watching this episode on Thursday by any chance, go ahead. If he's still available, pick him up, throw him in your lineup for tonight's
You're
game.
welcome.
Because Thursday night football versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, he should be set to eat. James Conner just went for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns versus them. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Zeke put up 60, 80 yards and a touchdown versus them as well. Because the Patriots really don't have anybody else, and it's going to be an ugly, low-scoring, grinded-out type of game.
Yep. 15-12.
Yep. Go ahead and fire up Zeke. Tight ends, I like Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett this week. Cole Kmet's going to get the Lions, so you expect a little bit of a shootout. Gerald Everett, one of the few pass
Divisional
targets on the
matchup.
Chargers, and they're going to get the Broncos. Interdivision game. Chargers are playing for their playoff lives.
On top
They
of
have
that,
a chance still?
I mean, it used to be
Mathematically, yes.
that they had Keenan Allen and then they also had Austin Eckler, and they no longer have that as an available option for their offense. Like I 6 points, bro. Like they looked so bad last week. I'm surprised that at this point today on Monday that Staley still has a job. I'm so surprised. I don't care that they won. Like that was the ugliest game I've seen in such a long time. Like against the second to worst team in football.
Like I know their defense is stout. So yeah, congrats for, your defense shutting down their terrible offense and putting up a zero goose egg for them, but I mean, damn dude, 6 points. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I get it was ugly weather, it was New England, one coast to the other, but holy hell. So you got to expect something better this week. They're playing at home, so they're getting indoors, they're getting good weather. Fire up Gerald Everett, expect him to eat. Streamer at tight end. Okonkwo versus Miami. Jerome Baker is going to be out with the MCL injury. Therefore, they're
Duke Riley.
very, very thin at linebacker.
Channing Tindall and Duke Riley are going to be the two coming in at linebacker. Like that's it.
Now-
That's all we have.
Now, it was reported today that they were working out former Alabama and San Francisco linebacker Reuben Foster. So there is a chance he may get added to the practice squad or the roster, maybe. So they are looking for some depth there at the position. Shaq Leonard signing with Philadelphia obviously is a punch to the gut because
It's what we expected.
that sucks,
Yeah.
but whatever. So
I saw
in
it's not a
reality-
far place for him to move to. Indianapolis to Philly. It's not very far.
Shaq Leonard also isn't a coverage linebacker. He doesn't really replace Baker on the Dolphins. He is more like David Long, which is what they already have. And David Long's been playing great football. So I think that Shaq Leonard doesn't make the Dolphins that much better anyways. I think that he'll definitely make Philly better, but they don't need a run stopper. Like, they need someone in coverage. They need Quan Alexander. They need someone like that.
Yeah. So, and I just expect with the Okonkwo, the Dolphins, all their focus is going to be on DeAndre Hopkins. Shut him down, focus on let everybody else get what they need to. And you're also dealing with the rookie quarterback in Will Levis, so you expect that pass rush to get to him. He's going to rely on his tight end, especially in PPR leagues. Love him as a streamer. And like we give you every week, streaming defense, go ahead and fire up Houston versus the Jets. Now, I say that because more than likely they're on your waiver wire, and the Jets and Tim Boyle just have shown they can't put touchdowns on the board. They haven't scored a touchdown in I think like their last 88 possessions or something crazy like that.
Pretty gross what's going on over there. To think that's an NFL organization.
Now, on the same point, Houston has a great matchup this week, but then next week and the week after, they get Tennessee and Cleveland as well. So they're really a great defense to end the season with. I picked them up on my teams that I'm going for the championship. I tried to get Houston because of some of their matchups coming up and how favorable they are. So, like, this is the time. Right now, the Jets, Tennessee, Cleveland, like, you get the good matchups from now on. So, they're definitely one to pick up today, like, immediately.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't really like how the schedule makers made so many divisional matchups at the end of the year. Like, it's
They
really
always
hard
do
for,
that.
like, fantasy and betting purposes. Like, the middle of the year is just, like, so...
Well,
I don't know. There wasn't really as many good matchups. Like, it wasn't that juice.
So you generally get in the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks, you're basically guaranteed a divisional game. For like
I
everybody.
wish they would push those in a little bit.
But
you know,
it's also the first 4 weeks and the last 4 weeks is when a
Just 'cause
lot
of
of
how
teams play their
tough
divisional
they play
games.
each other. Like, I feel you. It's good football, but it's just like
Well,
bad
it's-
for fantasy and
You got
betting.
to yeah, but you also got to think as well after the first 4 or 5 games, you've got more tape and more of an idea on what these teams' tendencies are. And that's why you see teams that'll just go off in the first 4 weeks and then they just disappear. Because teams have figured them out and they're too vanilla.
Who's that team this year? Say
Dude, the Lions look like they might be getting figured out.
Their defense for
They're
sure.
still, but you watch how they went against the
They've
Saints, and
gotten
the
shut
Saints is a
down.
solid defense.
And
they
they've
put
gotten
up 3
shut down
touchdowns in the first half.
hard more than once. And like that's
By the
not
Ravens,
good.
which is a really good defense, like
yeah.
and a high-powered offense. The line, they're iffy, but I think they're solid.
I mean,
going
I think
forward.
that they are, but that's
Like,
one
if there's
that kind
any
of follows.
year for them, this is one of their
You know,
years.
that's one that follows.
You
that.
asked a question, he answered it. You can't get mad at him.
My bad.
Well,
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you drink some tea, be sure to head over to TulsiRoseTea.com. Pick up all your little tea needs. They'll do some shipping to you. Ship you some teas, little tea cakes, perhaps. Do they have cakes?
we do.
No, you
am I
love your
Biscottis?
damn cakes.
Biscottis. Gotta
got
love
some
some biscottis. Biscottis for the boys. So, hey, be sure to go there, like, subscribe, hit the noti button. Come see us. Follow us on Twitter at @ProFootball_pod. We love you guys.
Make sure to show up on Friday for the Fans. We do it for you, live session. We're going to give you guys all that live information. Feed all the baby birds. Peace.